Daly spoke with Pepperdine head coach Jonathan Winder.
Coach, last time you were in this gym, you won back-to-back matches for the first time in 24 years. What are you hoping to see from your team this tournament?
Just trying to get better as we go each game, and yeah, there's hopefully a lot of volleyball ahead here, so just trying to get a little bit better and get more comfortable as we go this week.
Really good offensive performance from your team in that first set. Jessup still hit 320 in that first set. What would you like to see defensively?
We got to serve a little bit more effectively. The only people that scored were our float servers, -1 jump serve, and then make some adjustments on their outsides.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Kenzie, and thanks to Jonathan Winder, who was here just a couple weeks ago, led his team, as Kenzie mentioned, to back-to-back wins against BYU in this gym for the first time in 24 years. Jose Gomez, perfection in that first set, 6 for 6.
Yeah, 6 for 6 in a lot of different areas. And Gomez, as a freshman, is also in those passing lanes. He's taking on a huge role, and then on the outside. So really good job offensively for this Pepperdine squad, but kind of referencing Winder, it's the beginning of what they hope is a very long stay in this tournament, so they've got to continue that consistency and just getting better over time.
They are the reigning champs of this tournament. They hosted last year. They were the 4th seed. They won it.
Yeah, they love the MPSF tournament, right?
Big fans.
And they were hosting last year, but
that helps.
The way they're playing, they're in a position to do it again.
They've won 3 of the last 6 MPSF tournaments, 7 total. 3rd most among any team in the league. UCLA and BYU have won it 8 times since 1993. Set 2 underway. Schwab dug up by Riley. Polomat's high for Hartke, and the nation's point and kill per set leader gets another one.
You could tell just how smooth that flow was for the Pepperdine squad, just feeling in rhythm, finding that offensive rhythm. Hartke on his second step there is able to hit the swing he wanted.
Jessup dug up Pepperdine 9 times in the first set. 6 of them were against Hartke, as that one's blocked and off of Wopush and out, so point Pepperdine. Hartke struggled in that first set, 1 for 7, but he gets the kill, and then he gets the wipe here for back-to-back points. Wopush touched it last. Polomat's. Interesting comment from Jonathan Winder a moment ago to Kenzie about our only point scores -1 were our float servers.
And that was an interesting one. Actually, you know, talking to a lot of these squads, you look at a lot of these teams, specifically I'm thinking USC, they have players that are hitting float serves and scoring with them. And so I think a lot of times as fans, you're really impressed by the huge hard-driven kill, as we saw an ace there. But that float serve does so much damage to players' platforms. It's really tough to follow.
This is the first tie of the match. There were 0 ties, 0 lead changes in set 1 after the Schwab ace, as James Eady quickly says, let's have a lead change here. Eady's been effective so far, 3 for 4. We're going to see some of the best servers in the country today in this gym, which is going to be a ton of fun. Pepperdine, 5 dudes with 25+ aces. I mean, they have a lot of guys that can score from the line. As the Waves let that one drop, we're tied up at 3. UCLA has some of the best servers in the country. USC has some elite guys, as you mentioned, with Dylan Klein, Sterling Foley, and others. So it's going to be a fun day of great skill in the MPSF quarterfinals. There's Owen Henning. He goes long. Played at UC Davis prior to his time at Jessup. 4-3 Waves, set 2.
Well, and how impressive you look at Jessup as a program, just getting to the MPSF tournament. Very, very new program, and they have put together a fantastic season.
10 teams in the league, 2 did not make it, Menlo and UC Merced. As Owens wiped off of, oh, it's into the net first. Okay, hit the antenna, then Hartke. So an error from Jessup, as you see, Wopush. Oh, okay, sorry, it's just a net violation.
But you look at that, Wopush trying to go line on Hartke with 6 inches, right? He's a tough blocker to try to go around.
Away, it's the ball exactly about that.
Yeah, so that time he's like, maybe I'm not going to go line. Let's try cross court. And find success as Jessup staying in this second set. Really strong, just back and forth, playing good side-out volleyball.
The volleyball is between 8.15 and 8.39 inches. So no, 6 inches, it will not sneak through. Wipe attempted, look at Riley, sets it up. Set Osahan, just gives it back. Good up, but Jessup into the net again. So some unforced errors from the Warriors here. Kyle Steele can just scratch his head at the moment. Those are the ones that are tough for Jessup because, like, hey, they didn't do anything. We did that.
Right. A great opportunity and just can't transition to a point. And Pepperdine, you know, things a little not as smooth right now. They want to get back into a rhythm.
Hartke into the net.
And you look at Hartke serving. When we talked to Coach Winder, the BYU floor, although there's room obviously to serve, it's not his usual space. And so Hartke has had to adjust his approach on his serve. We'll see how that affects it moving forward.
There's plenty of space there, but at other places there's more.
And Hartke's 6'10",
and
those big steps.
That's like 2 steps for him. Inside of the block for Ryan Barnett, who's been really good the last couple of years. MPSF first teamer last year and this one. Reigning offensive player of the week. He was great against USC last week. 4.5 kills per set, had 488. 6th in the conference in points per set. I thought those USC Pepperdine matches were going to be these epic knockout, drag-out 5-setters. USC chose to sort of figure out some lineup things in those, and so Pepperdine won in a couple of sweeps, which was a bit surprising. And USC's in an interesting position in this tournament because to me they are in the field. They're the last one in the field. But there are those who don't think that. Vinny Lopes off the block feels like Lindenwood is in over USC. USC doesn't have a ton of quality wins. Lindenwood metrically is one of the best KPI RPI teams, top 8. So it feels like USC kind of needs to get to and win a semifinal perhaps against Pepperdine in this tournament to ensure that they are in. Maybe not. But if I'm Lindenwood, who's already out of the MIVA tournament, by the way, I'm anti-USC in this tournament. So there are NCAA tournament stakes with what happens in all these rounds and around the country as the MIVA and the IVA continue. Congratulations to those who have already punched their ticket with Belmont Abbey and Fort Valley State, the first 2, to the expanded 12-team tournament, which is awesome. 7 auto, 5 at large. The reset on 2, Mueller. Caught Hartke, but he dug it. And then Jessup into the net again. That's 3 times in the set.
And that's just a little too much pressing, right? When you're one-on-one, you feel like you've got to get a huge kill, a big block, take a ton of space, and it's tough to be patient.
Bullamots. Colin Marks. Riley on the dig. Barnett, this one up and hittable. Here's Henning. Tips it off the tape. High for Hartke, over the top. He's just too physical. 10-7 as Hartke. Been good in this set. 3 for 10 now.
You see Jessup defensively popping a lot of different balls up, extending this rally. But again, what Pepperdine can do is just go to so many different players, Hartke especially, just to close it out.
This one didn't bounce on the basketball hoop up high, nearly did. Easy dig for Riley from Wopush. Gomez, this one's gonna plinko around. You gotta play your luck there. Look at this. Pass from Colin Marks to Wopush. That was incredible. That's flying around up top, and he gives him a hittable ball.
Yeah, scoring out a system on steroids there, right? That was a really impressive play. Each person bettering the ball and then finishing it off.
Wow. 10-8. Going into the antenna by Gomez. Just the second error of the day on 37 swings from Pepperdine. And first of the set, and it is a 1-point set for the Jessup Warriors.
And what Jessup wants to do is just get Pepperdine uncomfortable and force them into making these unforced errors when they're feeling a little bit tight.
Opponent's going out. Time Gomez off of Wopush. Wolpush had 10 kills in each match versus Pepperdine. One of them, he was errorless, 10 for 18. 11-9 for the MPSF Freshman of the Year. Jose Gomez, born in Trinidad, Cuba. He's played for the Cuban national team already as he goes long.
Jonathan Winder and staff, just excellent recruiters. They really know how to get top talent and then develop that talent into fantastic players. You look at the recruiting classes they've come up with over the past few years, it's been so impressive.
2 seed in this tournament. So not everybody plays each other evenly, and so a 3-person committee were the ones that came up with the seeding. That was Sean Olmstead as coach of the host team, BYU. Jonathan Winder from last year's hosting team, and then Foti Melis, the commissioner. And so they decided that UCLA should be the 1 seed.
That was their easiest decision.
Over Pepperdine. Yeah, it's like, well, yeah. And frankly, there's not a huge difference necessarily in the tournament. Are you in the 2-3 semifinal potentially if it's chalky and whatnot? But Pepperdine is a team that will be in the NCAA tournament next week. It's just a matter of what seed, and do they get a chance to host, or do they have to travel as one of those seeds? Look at that at 75 miles an hour on the serve. Well played by Riley after it hit the basketball hoop underneath. Osahan finishes that one, and you kind of have to after your dog serves up a 75 mile an hour serve. Come on, man.
Well, and you look at Osahan, that physicality, just how high that set was to him. The blockers think that could be a bic, right? Because it's going so high, but Osahan is able to really jump and elevate and hit right over the top.
What's the chance Wolpush keeps it in? Oh, he did. Wow. Typically after a bomb like that, it's out.
Yeah, it's like I can get 80.
I can do it again. Yeah. Hartke wins the battle there. Mueller. Put it in. Oh, put it out.
Oh, challenge.
Okay, we might see a challenge.
I think so.
And now they can bundle the in-out and the touch off the block. I think it touches the elbow of Hartke.
Really?
It felt like it redirected initially. Let's take a look. No touch. Great look right there. By the way, Kyle Steele, he's in flip-flops.
He's taking the
He's relaxed.
Level, right?
He set quite a bit in practice yesterday in flip-flops. Which is awesome. So not seeing a touch here. Initially I thought maybe off the elbow of Hartke. I'm thinking no after a couple looks there by our crew, who give the best looks in the game.
And this second set, just back and forth. These two teams just really doing a nice job to keep it close, right? We haven't seen either one, especially Jessup. They haven't allowed Pepperdine to go on a big run of points, and that's kept that pressure on.
So no touch, and they can bundle with in-out, and it is out as well. So this should be Pepperdine's point. You get 3 challenges in the first 4 sets. As you see, yep, Pepperdine keep it. So unsuccessful challenge from Kyle Steele. You get, in the 5th set, you get another challenge, but no more than 3. So Jessup down to 2, Pepperdine still with 3. 13-12 in a more competitive set 2, as you mentioned. 25-19, Pepperdine won the first set. USC and Vanguard coming up after this one. Still alive. It's got to go over because it hit Mueller. Barnett throws it inside of the block. Still alive for them too. Henning, Riley. Here's Barnett. Chance to turn it and tie it for Jessup. This is sky high, and it bounces over to BYU's side, or excuse me, Jessup's side, and so it's a point for Jessup. They have tied the game, and that was great scrap by them on defense.
And that's exactly what Coach Steele talked about at the beginning of this. Just extend the rally. Can we create opportunities through tough defense? And going back to, can we be a nuisance, right? That is the goal.
A fly in the ointment, if you will. That one goes long. Ryan Barnett's turn to serve. 2-time first team all MPSF guy. 14-13. And that one just slips out of the hands of Marks. I think he intended to go on 2. School profile for Jessup, named after William Jessup, founded in 1939, Rockland, California. The enrollment 1,289. So basically in the shot right there, all the students could fit in right there. But the cool part is your student to teacher ratio in a class is going to be intimate, which is awesome. And they've done a great job being the 7th seed here in this tournament. Off the block. Real high. And a nice job by Mueller to get the kill out of that one.
And that's the swing if you're Mueller. You saw just how high that ball was. That allows him not to find a seam in the block. There's not going to be a seam. That block's going to be there, so he goes after the high hands and gets that kill.
Mueller 6 for 17, 5 digs, hitting 176. 73 but into the net. And Colin Marks. There's Noé Mate, freshman from Weinfelden, Switzerland. Hitting 633 this year. That's crazy. Mueller looking for high hands. Let's check in with Kenzie Dowling.
Yeah, Jerem, the numbers in this set may not completely show it offensively, but I think Colin Marks is doing a great job for Jessup of spreading the offense and creating opportunities for there to be seams in the block. I do think Jessup's doing a nice job hitting high hands against this big Pepperdine block. The numbers maybe aren't showing it as much, but I do think they're hitting fearlessly and they're hitting high and hard to try and score here and keep this match tight.
That's probably what they need to do, right?
Definitely, and to Kenzie's point, Pepperdine's one of the best blocking teams in the country, and they haven't had a ton of stuff blocks, right? They've been used a little bit, and Jessup has really adjusted their offense to try to get it through.
Edie out of the middle.
And you watch Edie, just that quickness that he has. He's up and quick, even though the pass had pushed Polomats almost over to the left side of the court. But a good middle can move laterally, is up, is quick, is available.
Edie 4 for 5, and he looks tiny next to Hartke, but everyone does. It's like, wait, who's the middle blocker?
Right, a small 6'7".
Which doesn't exist. It's like, wait, what? Off the hands for Wopush. Trying to get him involved more. 6 kills on 12 swings. 18-16. Again, Pepperdine only lost 1 set to the Division II teams in the MPSF. It was Jessup. Can the Warriors take a second? They're in this one in the second set. Hartke, somebody got the net, and it was Hartke. It's a 1-pointer.
And the quick turnaround, right? That shows you I'll not make eye contact, and I'll celebrate and hope that nobody saw this.
Most people are trying to get, as high as they can to look the net straight up. Hartke literally was like a 1.5 feet above it, coming down and going, oh yeah, I did hit that, didn't I? 18-17. Riley Pettish, Cal Lutheran transfer, goes long. Is it harder to come in and serve in volleyball than it would be to just, like, they just throw you a ball and like, hey, make this 3-pointer in basketball? Probably, right?
I don't know.
Like, what's like, you're just cold. You just come in and hey, take this PK in soccer. I mean, it's got to be one of the harder things. You just come in, you're not warm. Maybe you pepper during a timeout a few minutes ago as that one goes out.
Yeah,
it
they
is
talk
difficult.
about across all sports what's the hardest thing to do. The question is, what's the hardest thing to do cold?
Like a kicker is warming up on the sideline.
Right.
They're not warming up on the sideline. As we have a timeout.
With the range and the IQ, and that's going to be really tough to stop.
Big moments here for both. Osahan pounds that into the ground and then into the head of Jacob Riley, but that mustache has maintained its integrity.
When you look at just the opportunity that Jessup has created for themselves in this second set, creating, right? They have 30 attempts, right? 10 kills. Pepperdine only has 19 attempts. So the offensive level for Pepperdine, a lot lower than they would like. They really would like to finish with about, 15 kills per set. Right now, they only have 8.
That was Colin Mark's brother, Logan, who's actually older. He's a fifth year from Woodland, California, of course, the brothers. And here's our first look at Zach Chapin, the redshirt freshman from Manhattan Beach, California. Got a nice lefty whip. Somehow only has 6 aces. I'm surprised by this. I would have thought he had more. Has to come in and pass there. Hartke. Good by Henning. And then Hartke with the solo block. Never tell him the odds. 22-18.
And you look at that, you were saying that Chapin, only has a certain number of aces. That doesn't count as an ace, but that serve was incredibly effective because of what happened, right? And they get the point and get back.
Got the overpass, transitioned it. Point scoring is where he can kind of quantify his goodness when he serves. He goes long. 22-19 at the end of set 2 here. Pepperdine won the first, 25-19.
And if you're Pepperdine right here, you just want to step on the gas a little bit. Finish this second set really strong, these last 3 points. But it's got to start with a pass.
Don Wopush needs a good serve. Goes at Riley. Cross court to Barnett, down the line, Henning with the dig. Marks, low offering, couldn't do much with it for Mueller. High for Hartke. Kept alive on the back line and then put down by Mate as the net goes flying. Nice dig by Ford Harmon, the Long Beach State transfer on the back row.
And Harmon getting that ball up and getting a point for Pepperdine as they continue to get lots of different players involved in the offense.
Harmon at Long Beach State, Chris Connolly at UCLA. Those guys split after the national championship, hoping they can win another one with UCLA or Pepperdine now, as that kill is good to keep it close, 23-20. Muller's got 8 to lead the Warriors.
And good setting again from Jessup, right? Opening up those seams in the block. There was nobody up on that swing.
Here's Rafe Fraze, who did a nice job in set 1, coming off the bench to serve. 23-20, set 2. We're yelling out on that one. Barnett off the block and too far. Set point for Pepperdine. D2 scored 20+ points in just 6 of the 20 sets against Pepperdine. Jessup has 5 of those 6. They have played Pepperdine tougher than just about anybody else from the Division II foes in the MPSF. Set point, Ryan Barnett. Henning on the D ball, dug up by Hartke. Riley runs up. Good attack there by Matt Mazer off the bench. Mazer says, I got it. Gives it to Gomez and he cuts it out. Mazer is a guy who's had success in this gym, by the way, as he comes out at 16 kills against BYU last year on April 18th. But it is set point number 2 for Colin Marks, who has an ace in this match, as the Waves try and go up 2-0. Good serve from Marks. High for Hartke. Wopush on the dig. Marks, Mueller, Barnett. And Hartke finishes it off. 25. He's hitting 500. 84% side out. Great ball control as well. So they're not even the best passes. He is on fire in April.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be in system. And that's such a huge breath of relief if you're a passer, because a lot of teams can be good when it's a perfect pass, but the best teams are good when it's not perfect.
So Pepperdine going for the sweep here in set 3. And Jessup trying to keep the season going. We're glad you're with us here on Big Ten Plus. Jerem Jordan, Amy Gant, Kenzie Daly, and our crew from Provo, Utah, in the Smith Fieldhouse, home of the BYU Cougars, as Jessup tries to bring the energy. Marks goes long.
And this third set, I think a challenge for Jessup will be just staying patient, right? Not pressing too much if the set isn't there, if your serve isn't there. Just trying maybe to score at every opportunity and forcing errors.
Mueller cuts it a little too wide, so 2-0 Pepperdine. Jessup yet to lead in the match. There were no ties, no lead changes in set 1. In that last set, there were 4 ties, but no lead changes. And now we go into set 3 as Jessup climbs the hill against one of the best teams in the country in the Pepperdine Waves out of Malibu, California. Mueller off the block. Jonas Mueller, as we mentioned off the top, the only Division II team player to be honored among the MPSF awards. He was on the all-freshman team. Congratulations to him. Roll shot over. Edie. Rarely does a middle give a set me pass. That was right there.
And it really wasn't he gave a perfect pass that could have gone anywhere else, but Polomot's recognizing, hey, I'll credit you.
I'll reward you.
Thank you for that.
Like in basketball, if the big man runs the floor, you got to give him the ball.
Exactly.
Let's go. Jose Gomez. Knudsen marks. Heading down the line. Pass to Hartke, and he sends it into the 4th row. Sometimes you miss them. Just his second arrow on 16 swings. We've seen this before. A couple weeks ago, we called the BYU Pepperdine matches in here. Hartke can be contained somewhat, but it does not slow them down. They're not a one-horse team. They've got all kinds of weapons. So if the nation's leading point and kill leader only has 4 kills, it just doesn't matter. In this match so far, Pepperdine's plus 12 as we speak.
Right.
And up 2-0.
Yeah, and how fun for that if you're Pepperdine. Oh, yeah, we have one of the best players in the country, but we've also got this huge amount of other hitters that can get it done.
Osahan Jr. 6'4", 10 for him. And that's what is required for a championship team. You can have the big gun and you want to rely on them and da-da-da. If he's off, you have Ryan Barnett, you have Jose Gomez, you have 2 good middles, you have a good libero. They've got it all. They're going to compete for a title. Gomez off the tape. Whoa, push. Did not get a touch. 5-3 Waves. He's 6 for 14 with 4 errors. And Hartke will serve for Pepperdine. It's fun talking to Jonathan Winder about, hey, you guys have been playing great. What's going on? Any confidence from winning the tournament last year? No. Hey, you're the only team to beat UCLA. Who did we beat today? It doesn't really matter. And he's like, yeah, a lot of Marv Dunphy in that, the longtime great Hall of Fame coach at Pepperdine, who still works as an administrator, by the way, as Matze goes to the back corner in area 5. So I don't think Marv's here, but he's got to be watching for sure. And Marv, I'm still upset that you beat me in horse here in the Smith Fieldhouse one time with all kind of trick shots. It was just, I'm not over it. I want a rematch. But Marv Dunphy, one of the greats, actually got a doctorate at BYU, lived in BYU head coach Carl McGowan's house when Chris was younger. Chris becomes the head coach later and has been a tremendous coach in his own right. So the Pepperdine and BYU kind of coaching connection has been strong for a long time. They battled over the years, and Marv certainly an influential figure in Jonathan Winder's life. They have offices right next door to each other. So Jonathan's like, yeah, I pick his brain all the time. As that one goes off of Gomez for the ace. 76 miles an hour. Wow.
Wobush has a cannon for an arm and just tattoos Gomez there in the middle.
A senior from Poland. Leads this team in aces per set. Hartke through the block.
And it'll be interesting to see. We've seen Cole Harkey not really be huge in the first 2 sets, but he's a player that they kind of decide when they want to go to him. Usually at the end of a match is when he kind of can really take over and get a handful of kills in just a couple minutes.
5 for 17 as that one goes wide. 7-6. So Jessup hanging in there. They do have to win the set to keep this thing going. And you know, part of being here was checking that box. One of the goals of the season for Jessup was, hey, let's get to the MPSF tournament. That means they're one of the 3 of the top 5 among the D2 teams in the league. Notably, Pacific is adding men's volleyball back. And head coach Devin Young is in the house, former BYU assistant, actually took the job midway through this season. And he is working on getting his team put together for next year. Pacific could be in this tournament next year. We'll see what they do in year 1. One goes out of bounds off the block from Owen Henning. So congrats to Devin for that, and good to have Pacific back in the MPSF. With UC San Diego and UC Santa Barbara going to the WCC, do they keep their men's volleyball teams in the Big West, or does the West Coast Conference consider adding volleyball?
Ooh.
Questions for a rainy day. Inside of the block for Schwab, who invests wisely on that one. And we are tied at 8.
Jessup just keeping it close. Pepperdine, besides that first set where they could kind of just go on cruise control, they have had to really fight and claw for every single point. Jessup has been very good at just finding a way to score.
Do you think the Big Ten at any point, as we talk on Big Ten Plus, adds 2 men's volleyball teams? Because they have 4, but they're in 3 different leagues. USC, UCLA in the MPSF, Penn State in the IBA, Ohio State in the MEBA. If they added 2, they could have their own Big Ten league. Pressure on you, Nebraska.
Right? I think every team would benefit from a men's volleyball. Every school.
Yeah.
Right? Just
I want Texas to add
incredible
it.
sport. Yes.
Like, they've got all the dough. I know it's not making coin unless you're football or men's hoops. Big time, typically you're not making money. But is there an opportunity here? It feels like, if anything, and shout out to the Division II teams that have added it, like Jessup. They've done a great job of growing the game in that space. The other big picture conversation is, do the D2s create their own championship? Because there's only been one that won one. It was Lewis in 2003, and then they had it taken away for having professional players who had been getting paid. And so it's hard to compete at this level for obvious reasons as a Division II. Do the Division IIs have their own men's volleyball championship? There's something like 20, 21 Division I teams Pacific adding. I'm talking D1s.
Oh, I was going to say
do the D1s then just, how do they, you fill your whole schedule with those guys? Is it beneficial in some way for the D2s and D1s to be together? The reason they're together in the championship is there's just not enough teams that sponsor it, as Gomez gets the kill out of the back row on the Vic, 11-9. I would be surprised in the next 5 years if the D2s don't say, hey, we got to let's do this. Let's compete for our own national title.
I think given all that's going on in NCAA with all the NIL stuff.
Why, what's going on? Anything going on? Any lawsuits today?
Right. But
any legislation?
Have to make that adjustment. D2 schools have an opportunity to really come out ahead because they aren't subject to a lot of the different rules, and they have opportunities to have bigger rosters and give more opportunity to play.
We'll see what happens here, but this sport's certainly in the middle of all this. Schwab off the net, and too much for Marks to try and overcome there. 12-10 here in set 3. That's Kyle Steele. Jets with Chase Schwab. Nuts in Marks. Ozone puts a dent in the Terraflex.
Everyone in the gym watching. That's an angle you don't see very often. Wow, what a swing.
Elevation, not just here in Utah, 4,500 feet up, but Osahan Jr. Henning catches up to that toss. And then Mate quietly does his thing. Hits over 600. Hums the sound of music as he goes back to his spot on the court. 13-11.
Switzerland?
Yeah.
I guess.
Or Austria, I guess, close enough.
It depends.
Did I miss on that one?
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be Austria? My bad.
Well, they climbed the mountains into Switzerland, so yeah.
He can't hum the. Who says he can't hum the sound of music? As I dig myself out of the hole. 13-11. Oh, the roof by Osahan Jr. Best block of the day so far.
Osahan Jr. slowing down that bit. Great read. You see how he drops that left hand into the area where Gomez was hitting, and now Pepperdine has a little pressure on them. They've got to find a way to score here, as Jessup wants to be the first to 15 for the first time.
Great serve, and it ties the match. 75 miles an hour for the ace. We've seen Wopush do it a couple of times now, and Pepperdine calling timeout to try and slow him down from the line. Check that. It is a challenge. So is Winder going to go 2 for 2 on not so fast, my friend Ace? That seemed in. Ooh, looks out.
Does it? It kind of looks into me.
It looked like there's some blue there. And Ryan Barnett,
so
can you move your
close.
leg? Or It looked like there was some blue between the white and the ball there.
If you watch
Right,
the
like,
way
right.
that ball is spinning, out or not, it's got a nasty tail,
Yeah.
right? It's not just over the top. You can see as it slows down how it's kind of spinning side to side as well.
So
That
watch
is
this still
brutal
frame
to
here.
pass.
Just can we freeze it right there? Yeah. There's just a sliver of blue there. That seems out. If I'm the R3 in this case, I'm calling this one out. She has to definitively see that it is out.
Good point.
Because they called it in initially. Pepperdine with 3 challenges. Winder 1 for 1. He's so confident in this, he's just going over to get a drink. He's just chilling. Smiley Jukes looks this one up. And this is an important moment in this set because Jessup's trying to keep Wopush on the line.
For sure, he's their best server, best scorer.
Keep the tie.
Yeah, and I think Jessup have a lot of momentum right now. They were able to ride that big stuff block, right? Get that energy, go back right into what may be an ace. That is a nice string of points to try to be the first to 15.
Now, if you're the R2 and you typically do the replays, and now you don't, what do you get to do if you're Troy Gravette? You get to wait for Miley Jukes. You stand there and kind of stare at her, and then you walk over and say, hey, challenge unsuccessful. That was in. Or couldn't see that it was out.
Yeah.
So this is going to stay, and Pepperdine loses the challenge.
Okay, so
Both
you're
teams with 2.
Wopush, and you've had to kind of sit. Do you go for it here, or does he back off?
Heck yeah, dude.
He's usually gone hard and then kind of backed off.
If you can serve 75 miles an hour, and it's back against the wall, final set of the season potentially, you got to get out there. And he goes 72 and in. Or did it hit somebody? He gets the ace, and that is the first lead of the match for Jessup. Ooh, is that out as well? Oh, that's on the line.
Wow.
Back to back, he went after it, Amy.
He did.
And he's going to do it again. And if he had served that in somehow, that would have been a miracle. Because when you go 70+ 2 times in a row, the percentages say you are going out or into the net.
He's pretty nonchalant about it, though. Like, it's easy.
Yeah.
He's not working.
Yeah.
Like, he's strong and can do that over and over. It's just not a one-off. Pretty impressive.
Back to back, 14s. Mueller, how about Jacob Riley on the dig? Hartke. And Oppo that can pass? What? Over the top of the triple. Deep dish from Henning. Back to him on the D-ball. Quickly off of Hartke. Polo Mats loses the joust. Still alive. Free ball. Pass comes over. Can Jessup turn it for the lead? Osahan Jr. does so. Summoning Christian Okoye, Nigerian nightmare vibes from Tecmo's Super Bowl in the night. Clement Osahan Jr. from Benin City, Nigeria. And a real impact in this game, and he gets the ace. 2-point lead, the largest for Jessup of the day.
And that serve for Jessup really warming up. A lot of different players getting involved. The passing lanes for Pepperdine getting tight back there. The communication breaking down.
9th ace of the year. Mate does what he does best, which is end runs as we check in with Kenzie.
Yeah, Jerem, some frustration on the Pepperdine side during that timeout. This is clearly not the Pepperdine team that we're used to seeing. A big topic of discussion was needing to be better defensively. Jessup is playing with a lot of confidence right now, and Pepperdine does not have a lot of confidence. So big talk was trying to get back to playing confidently, getting pressed and over on the block defensively, and making these plays.
Owen Henning with his fifth kill to go with 7 digs as Jessup keeps the 2-point advantage.
When you talk about you can tell with the body language, right? Jessup, lots of energy, loose, confident on the floor, and Pepperdine frustrating for them, although they're still hitting 312, right, in this set.
Yes.
But just not getting the opportunities that they'd like.
Marks reads the dump offering. Marks to Schwab, trickles back over. Schwab dug up. Off of Marks. Mueller, pushed by Mueller. And into the net for Pepperdine. And now a 3-point advantage for Jessup.
I think credit Chase Schwab right there as we go into the timeout. In the middle, slowing everything down.
4 of those 7 aces in this set. Going for line, went out from Colin Marks. 7 aces is the most since March 28th when they had 10 against Vanguard. Season high is 14 against Pepperdine in the first match they played on February 27th. So they found some success from the service line against the Waves.
Right, and now if you're Pepperdine, you're in a position where you're feeling a little tight and maybe pressing a little much. So patience is really important for Pepperdine as they try to find that rhythm again and start with those first contact plays, the serve and pass, to work their way back in.
Barnett makes it a 2-point set. Again, Pepperdine won both against Jessup earlier this year. Jessup won a set in one of them. They're trying to keep their season going. Knudsen. Go push. Barnett has to catch up to it. Lefty, and good placement. 1-point set now as Ryan Barnett gets his match-leading 10th kill.
Barnett hitting close to 500, just continuing to be that steady leader for Pepperdine. Interesting to see them go to Barnett out of the timeout when they want to get into a groove again. He's been the guy, especially this last part of the season, that has been so steady for them.
Knudsen, good pass up the Marks. Some tempo successfully to Wokus. By the way, Jacob Knudsen, the libero for Jessup, his sister Kelsey played here at BYU and before that at St. Mary's. She's here today to watch. It's a volleyball family. Sister Delaney, tremendous player, AVP. Dad played, coach UCLA. They know ball in the Knudsen family.
He's been a very good libero for Jessup, taking most of the balls in the service lanes. Been very steady and smooth.
Kill by Ryan Barnett as Riley Pettish came in to serve on that one. 2019, so can Jessup keep the lead here? Will Pepperdine take over and get the sweep? As we see Zach Chapin come off the bench to serve here in quarterfinal number 1 of the day. We have 3 more for you here today. Loaded up with some great volleyball in the MPSF tournament here in Provo, hosted by BYU. Chapin, nice serve. Osahan took some off it. Chapin diving dig. And then well placed by Barnett. No one covering area 1. It seemed like Osahan was going to smash that, but it was passed back, and then Barnett is up to 11 kills now.
And again, Barnett, he's gotten 3 in the past just couple of points, just taking the load on his own shoulders and taking this team back to just those last 5 points.
2020. Overpass, Barnett, boom, goes the dynamite. And Pepperdine takes the lead back, 21-20. Timeout, Jessup.
On the line, forcing an overpass. The serving sub has been fantastic.
Colin Marks, back row, he can't attack it or touch it. That's why he ducks down, even with the hair flying through the air. And Barnett up to 13 kills now, hitting .571. And Jessup's lead has evaporated on a 3-0 Pepperdine run late in set 3, up 2-0.
And it's been Barnett. Barnett. And credit everyone on Pepperdine recognizing who the hot hitter is and get the ball to him as much as possible. Polomatz as a setter, knowing that his senior outside is in a good flow and finding a way to score.
Pepperdine, one of the top offenses in the country. You see aces and hit percentage, 3rd, kills 6th. They do a tremendous job. The only thing they're not that good at is opponent hitting percentage, 34th. But they're a tremendous team. That's the only kind of glaring weakness, is sometimes teams can hit a high percentage on them. Some of that due to maybe the ability to get some aces here and there and then do some overpasses, as we've seen today from Jessup. But right now, Pepperdine up 1 with 4 to go in set number 3. As the 2 seed taking on the 7th seed Jessup. Coming up later at 3:30 Eastern Time, 3 seed USC, 6 seed Vanguard. Zach Chapin will continue to serve here. Nice tool off the block by Wopush to tie it at 21. Didn't have a lot of room to do anything there. Gets his 8th kill.
And I think watching Wopush on the floor, he's just steady and calm. Gets back, rips a serve, scores. It's that senior leadership that I think has been so helpful to this Jessup team, who's young in a lot of areas.
The tape by Henning. Smashed by Ryan Barnett, who might be the most underrated player in the country. I mean, when you talk about some of the best players in the country, you need to talk about his name in the first 10, 15 dudes.
Right, and I think obviously getting first team all MPSF, very important, but if it's April, you better be talking Ryan Barnett.
Reggie Jackson, Mr. October. Ryan Barnett was unbelievable last year in April. As that's tipped over for the kill, we're tied at 22. Barnett really carried Pepperdine in that tournament last year. And right now, helping carry the waves in this one is Wopush. Throws his changeup successfully. 22s. Oh, foot fault, 23-22. He did that a couple of times in practice yesterday, still trying to find the spot. He had been good in this match until right then. And that's a tough error at this juncture.
Yeah, exactly. Jessup in position to take a set. Can they get a side out right here?
Overpass. A chance to get to 24. Mate does so. Match point Waves. Timeout, Jessup.
And a tough serve again from Ryan Barnett behind the line, getting it done, forcing the overpass, and then the easy transition from Mate to finish it.
Mate has been perfect in this one, 7 for 7. Match point number 1. Waves fans on their feet, getting ready for this one. Jessup out of timeouts right now. They need 2 in a row to keep this thing going.
And I think coming out of this, Ryan Barnett's still serving. I think he wanted to put that in, you know, just maybe a 70% swing. Trust your defense to load up and try to shut this down to finish it, because Pepperdine wants to eke out this 3rd set. Jessup has given them everything that they could want. Really has been a tough opponent in this first match.
Kyle Steele evaluating some of the numbers with Taylor Marks his assistant coach. As we get match point here, we will have Matt Mazer come in. 6'9" from Lancaster, New York. Try and get some size in there. Perhaps for a blocking sub. I think we'll have Polomats come out and Mazer in for a big front row.
Yeah, so especially Barnett, keep this in, right? Maybe try to force a medium system set and allow the big block to try to slow something down.
And Mazer is in to block on match point number 1 for Pepperdine, trying to get to the semifinals. Ryan Barnett on the serve. Great serve. It's going to bounce around. Marks reads it well. Mueller cuts it. For the semis. Yes, Pepperdine does it. 25-22. And the Waves advance to the semifinals tomorrow night.
Well, and Ryan Barnett, it looked like Jessup was maybe going to come away and take that third set. Barnett took the team on his shoulders and really finished off strong, allowing
Fieldhouse in Provo, Utah, home of the BYU Cougars as they host the MPSF tournament.
Người lá lọc có giá 100. Bây giờ nó là người khó đó mọi người. Đây là một cái video ấy, một cái bé là cái chân của nó chuẩn bị một cái con sư tử là phập đó nha mọi người. Nhưng mà có biết bao nhiêu người ta đứng nhìn luôn, nhưng mà không ai chạy vô can ngăn đó. Nó được nói chứ gặp ở Việt Nam á, dù gì người ta cũng phải giúp nhau một chút. Em thấy người Việt Nam á, lòng người ta cũng không phải là sắp đá giống như ở đây người biết á, cái con sư tử này nó rất đọc như tiện, người thì nghèo, còn bày đặt qua TikTok. Đọc như
Vì nên mỡ xích rồi. Các bạn có cái viện lại đây tía cả mắt đâu.
đây nè,
Này ngọt không?
thì xỉu đúng không?
Đó thì quý nó cả hơi quạt mình thấy. Nó em mới là hơi quạt cái khó. Ôi là cho ấy hơi lại bênนั้นnày lại bên mô ta là hơn. Nó cho ấy ai. Nó cây đó mưa lại lỡ hơn lỡ.
Hơn rồi đây.
Dạ lớp có một bình cậy nào biết anh nhâm. Nó vậy là vừa rồi nó tham một giang không?
Dạ. Tôi bao ngủ đây không? Có không?
Smith Fieldhouse in Provo, Utah, home of the BYU Cougars as they host the MPSF tournament quarterfinal.
Wow.
Smith Fieldhouse in Pueblo, Utah, home of the BYU Cougars as they host the MPSF tournament. Quarterfinal number 2, 6-seed Vanguard Lions taking on
băng bị lấy máy lấy.
The hot hitter is and get the. But we've also got the.
winner a moment ago to Kenzie about our only point score is -1. Where our floats are.
Má tập ghê chưa.
The fourth and final quarterfinal of the MPSF tournament is now 5-seed BYU, the host, in their gym in the Smith. Ramblers. Hi, everybody. There's the keys. The delegate will serve first for the Ramblers. There are the keys for the Ramblers, Stephanie.
The Ramblers will be looking to establish the middle. That's both Klein and Bell in the middle front, and also that back row quick that has been so efficient for them. They're also wanting to control first contact, let Miguel get the setter, make the choices. Don't allow the passes to dictate where he has to set. They want to put that ball in zone 7 right up at the net and give Miguel 5 options to set.
Flyers get the opening point there. Loyola. Michael is
Wow. 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 Ý. Bữa nay cầm tô đi đâu? Đi ăn cả thế giới. Wow, vậy là hôm nay ăn cái gì đấy? Cá lóc cháy ông chính. Ủa, đấy là ăn kèm với cái này hả? Ừ. Ủa cái này tên là gì? Nó giống như là cái món rút với chà bông ấy nha, đúng không? Ừ, đúng rồi, cá lóc nó giống chà bông nhưng mà cá lóc cháy. À, cá lóc cháy ông chính hả? Ủa nhưng mà hôm nay ăn cái gì đâu? Ngồi xuống. Để ra mọi người xem. Wow, ngon dữ hả? Tôi chụp nhiều rồi. Lúc đầu đồ ai nấy ăn. Trời ơi. Wow, ui. Wow, ngon dữ vậy. Ăn kèm cái gì? Kèm với rau này. À, lau qua một cái đi, sợ bụi á. Wow. Làm miếng cơm á. Ui, thơm dữ trời. Ngon. Ngon hả? Này ăn no căng bụng luôn. Đang đốt răng dùng tiếng cười tôi làm thân cách đến trong phút.
Tehran dường như vẫn tràn đầy sức sống. Các quán cà phê đông đúc, các công viên công cộng nhộn nhịp. Người dân Iran đang cố gắng duy trì cuộc sống bình thường sau nhiều tuần bị Mỹ và Israel ném bom. Cuộc chiến tàn khốc đó diễn ra sau khoảng thời gian xảy ra nhiều cuộc biểu tình bạo động ở Iran hồi tháng 1. Giờ đây, đằng sau những khung cảnh yên bình này, nền kinh tế Iran đang trong mưu trùng khó khăn và nhiều người tỏ ra bức xúc trước các cuộc không kích tàn phá. Nhiều người Iran hiểu rằng cuộc chiến này sẽ không lật đổ chế độ, nhưng đồng thời nó sẽ khiến cuộc sống của họ trở nên tồi tệ hơn nhiều về mặt kinh tế. Theo số liệu chính thức, vụ đánh bom đã khiến hàng ngàn người thiệt mạng, trong đó có nhiều học sinh tại một trường học ngay vào ngày đầu tiên của cuộc xung đột. Vụ việc cũng đã phá hủy cơ sở hạ tầng trên khắp đất nước Iran, dẫn đến nguy cơ mất việc làm hàng loạt. Ông Nomarian cho biết, nhiều người ở Iran hoan nghênh các cuộc tấn công chung của Mỹ và Israel mà Tổng thống Donald Trump nói là nhằm lật đổ chế độ thần quyền của nước này. Nhưng mục tiêu đó đã luôn mờ dần khi các cuộc ném bom tiếp diễn và những lời đe dọa của ông Trump chuyển từ việc trừng phạt những người cầm quyền sang đe dọa toàn bộ đất nước. Đã có một sự thay đổi rất mạnh mẽ trong quan điểm của họ, đặc biệt là khi Israel và Mỹ nhắm vào cơ sở hạ tầng của Iran, đánh vào các cây cầu của Iran, các nhà máy lọc dầu hoặc các công ty thép và hóa dầu của Iran. Người dân ở Iran nhận được lời hứa hẹn một tương lai tốt đẹp hơn, nhưng rồi thay vào đó họ lại nhận được lời đe dọa về sự phá hủy cơ sở hạ tầng và bị đẩy trở lại thời kỳ đồ đá. Về kinh tế, tôi nghĩ nhiều người đang hoàn toàn hoảng loạn vì có tình trạng cho nghỉ việc tạm thời, sa thải. Nhiều người không thể làm việc kể từ tháng 1, các công ty tư nhân đang sa thải nhân viên. Trong khi đó, chế độ Iran vẫn vững mạnh, và người dân Iran, cả những người ủng hộ và phản đối chế độ, vẫn chia rẽ hơn, nhưng lại có rất ít lựa chọn. Đây là thời điểm quyết định đối với người dân Iran, bởi vì cuối cùng người dân Iran, đặc biệt là người dân còn ở trong nước, nhận ra rằng họ cần phải sống chung với nhau, không còn nơi nào để đi. Đài CNN ngày 19 tháng 4 đưa tin Tổng thống Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky đã cương quyết phản đối quyết định của Mỹ về việc tiếp tục tạm đình chỉ cấm vận lô dầu mỏ Nga đang trong quá trình vận chuyển bằng tàu biển. Quyết định của Bộ Tài chính Mỹ cho phép các nước mua dầu và sản phẩm dầu mỏ của Nga được vận chuyển trên tàu kể từ ngày 17 tháng 4 đến 16 tháng 5. Quyết định này thay thế cho quyết định miễn trừ 30 ngày đã hết hạn hôm 11 tháng 4 và không bao gồm các giao dịch liên quan Iran, Cuba và Cộng hòa Dân chủ Nhân dân Triều Tiên. Một phát ngôn viên của Bộ Tài chính Mỹ cho biết Bộ Tài chính muốn đảm bảo dầu mỏ có thể cung cấp cho những bên đang cần. Chỉ 2 ngày trước đó, Bộ trưởng Tài chính Mỹ Scott Bessent cho biết Washington sẽ không gia hạn miễn trừ đối với dầu của Nga. Động thái này là một phần trong nỗ lực của Mỹ nhằm kiểm soát giá năng lượng toàn cầu vốn tăng vọt do xung đột ở Trung Đông. Các quốc gia châu Á chịu ảnh hưởng nặng nề từ cú sốc năng lượng toàn cầu đã gây áp lực để Mỹ cho phép các nguồn cung thay thế tiếp cận thị trường. Giá dầu cao đang là mối đe dọa đối với các thành viên đảng Cộng hòa của Tổng thống Donald Trump trước thềm cuộc bầu cử giữa nhiệm kỳ vào tháng 11 tới. Ông Trump cũng đối diện áp lực từ các nước đối tác về giá dầu. Một nguồn tin của Mỹ cho biết các nước đối tác bên lề những cuộc họp của G20, Ngân hàng Thế giới và Quỹ tiền tệ quốc tế tại Washington DC tuần này đã đề nghị Mỹ gia hạn miễn trừ. Ông Trump đã đề cập vấn đề dầu mỏ trong cuộc điện đàm với Thủ tướng Ấn Độ Narendra Modi. Ấn Độ là một khách hàng lớn mua dầu của Nga. Các nghị sĩ lưỡng đảng Mỹ chỉ trích chính quyền về quyết định miễn trừ nêu trên, cho rằng điều đó sẽ giúp ích cho nền kinh tế Nga trong khi nước này đang có xung đột với Ukraine. Việc miễn trừ có thể cản trở nỗ lực của phương Tây nhằm ngăn chặn nguồn thu của Nga cho cuộc chiến ở Ukraine và khiến Washington mâu thuẫn với các đồng minh. Chủ tịch Ủy ban châu Âu Ursula von der Leyen cho rằng hiện không phải là lúc nới lỏng các lệnh cấm vận đối với Nga. Trong khi đó, đặc phái viên Kirill Dmitriev của Tổng thống Nga Vladimir Putin cho biết việc gia hạn miễn trừ của Mỹ sẽ tác động thêm 100 triệu thùng dầu của Nga, nâng tổng số dầu liên quan 2 lần miễn trừ lên 200 triệu thùng. Trong khi đó, Tổng thống Zelensky cho biết hiện có hơn 110 tàu chở dầu thuộc đội tàu bóng đêm của Moscow vận chuyển hơn 12 triệu tấn dầu của Nga và tìm cách né các lệnh cấm vận. Ông nói rằng việc có thể bán dầu mà không bị cấm vận sẽ bổ sung 10 tỷ đô la Mỹ vào ngân sách của Moscow, số tiền mà Tổng thống Ukraine cho rằng được chuyển thành các cuộc tấn công mới vào Ukraine. Ông Zelensky ngày 19 tháng 4 viết trên mạng xã hội X rằng việc tiếp tục nới lỏng các lệnh cấm vận đối với Nga không phản ánh tình hình thực tế trong cuộc chiến hay ngoại giao, cho biết chỉ riêng trong tuần này, Nga đã phóng hơn 2.360 máy bay không người lái, hơn 1.320 bom dẫn đường và gần 60 tên lửa các loại vào nhiều thành phố. Cảnh báo sóng thần với nguy cơ sóng cao tới 3 mét đã được ban hành vào tối 20 tháng 4 đối với các tỉnh Iwate, Aomori và Hokkaido ở miền Bắc Nhật Bản sau trận động đất xảy ra ngoài khơi đảo Iwate. Các phát thanh viên trên nhiều chương trình tin tức truyền hình đã kêu gọi người dân địa phương di chuyển đến vùng đất cao hơn, tránh xa sông và bờ biển và kêu gọi mọi người hãy nhớ đến thảm họa ngày 11 tháng 3. Trận động đất xảy ra ở độ sâu 10 km lúc 4 giờ 53 phút chiều, có cường độ sơ bộ là 7,4 độ Richter, theo cơ quan khí tượng Nhật Bản. Báo Japan Times cho biết rung chấn lan đến tận Tokyo, khiến các tòa nhà lắc lư trong vài phút. Tại cảng Miyako ở tỉnh Iwate, một cơn sóng thần cao 40 cm đã được quan sát và dự kiến sẽ có thêm nhiều đợt sóng nữa. Dự báo cũng sẽ có sóng thần dọc theo bờ biển Thái Bình Dương của Hokkaido, bao gồm cảng Tokachi và thị trấn Erimo, cũng như cảng Hachinohe ở tỉnh Aomori. Phát biểu với các phóng viên tại Tokyo, Thủ tướng Takaichi Sanae kêu gọi người dân sơ tán đến vùng đất cao hơn, an toàn hơn. Bà Takaichi cho biết cơ quan chức năng đang xác nhận thiệt hại vật chất và tác động đến người dân, cũng như tiến hành các nỗ lực ứng phó thảm họa. Tuyến tàu cao tốc Tohoku Shinkansen đã tạm dừng hoạt động giữa ga Tokyo và ga Shin Aomori. Theo thông báo từ đơn vị vận hành, tuyến tàu cao tốc Akita Shinkansen cũng tạm ngừng hoạt động. Hãng thông tấn Tasmin
Gác băng nặng là thuốc men.
Sợi dưới đấy thấy cầm xoài rồi cầm hành gì đấy. Đây mới hái nè. Mà thích ăn chân cây.
Nhục ra thành chắc lá cái nước bốc của rồi bác ngày nhớ. Nó lỗ quá cư.
Trái này to hơn nè, tụi ấy là trái già hơn đúng không? Wow. Quá đã. Vậy là quá. Đây chú cầm một cái cho ông làm thì đây chú cầm cái muỗng cho. Ủa, cái muỗng gì vậy? Ra chặt sẵn đây nên con nhà ốc hơn. Trời ơi, làm á. Ui. Wow. Wow. Ui. Wow.
Nói cho mọi người nghe này, lúc làm sườn chua ngọt mà đem đi chặt nước luôn là sai to luôn đó nha. Làm kiểu đó xong món sườn sẽ rất đánh mà thịt còn khô cứng nữa, ăn dở lắm luôn. Hôm nay mình sẽ chia sẻ cách làm chi tiết kiểu nhà hàng cho mọi người. Sáng sớm này mình đi mua 3 cân sườn ở chỗ mình loại có xương là 120.000 một cân, không xương là 150.000 một cân. Không biết chỗ mọi người mua bán kiểu này không nữa. Giờ mình chặt sơ ra trước rồi băm thành miếng nhỏ không ăn. Đừng chặt to quá nha, không lát được ngon quá. Gấp mấy cái là hết sạch chặt xong hết rồi. Thì bước này rất quan trọng. Nhiều anh chị làm ở nhà món sườn chua ngọt bị tanh lại còn khô là sai ngay chỗ này đó. Mình phải khử mùi tanh trước mà không khử tanh lát nữa ăn sẽ rất dở. Khử tanh thì cho vào một bụng muối to. Tôi ra nước sạch vào, ngâm 10 phút là được. Nước muối thấm vào sẽ
Đứng lại đấy. Đây. Cái muối này tôi thấy tôi ghiền muối này luôn đó. Wow.
Well,